Hello, everyone. Mr. Stu here. Hope you're doing well on April 20th, back from our virtual spring break. Hope you're doing well. But I just wanted to take some time on the slideshow and just go over the Kahoot review questions on air pollution with you. Thank you for filling those out. But these are just the ones that we didn't really get. So, again, thank you for answering your Kahoots. A lot of y'all did that. That was excellent. Now, we just want to review them, okay? So follow along as we go over these questions. Then these were the ones that were incorrect. And the goal is just to understand what was incorrect so we can move past them, okay? So first one, question number one, which of the following is an example of air pollution? So we have clouds, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and carbon monoxide. What do you think? Well, currently the answer would be carbon monoxide, but I would also accept carbon dioxide. Both of those are coming from the factories that we use, the cars that we drive, and really add to the air pollution. Okay? Notice a little factory friends there. Next, question number 5. Which source contributes to air pollution the most? So we're looking at which of these contributes to air pollution the most. So first one, we have transportation or electricity, goods and services that we buy, or other home fuel uses. Think about that for a second, folks. I wonder which contributes the most. Important word here, the most. Read the question. Please read the question. Okay, going on. The correct answer, ding, 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 goods and services that we buy. All right. Now think about it. This is not just electricity. This is not just fuels. This is not just transportation. Goods and services that we buy, that's everything that we use and get made in a store, shop, or industrial workplace. Notice our friends at Amazon here. You have electricity. You have a lot of emissions. Those are goods and services that we're buying. So what we buy, where we buy it, and how it's made all affect air pollution together. Okay, next up, question number 6. What was responsible for the 17% increase of greenhouse gas emissions? What do you think? Humans, all living things, the atmosphere, or fires? What are we thinking is most responsible for a 17% increase in greenhouse gas emissions? So we're talking about emissions, okay? Let's see. If you said humans, you are correct. Look at all these humans, folks. If you want to talk about one group of people that affect the globe the most, you're looking at all these folks, everyone walking around doing their thing. Think about everything that we use, eat, need to survive, the cars we drive, the buses that we're in, the subways we're doing. You name it, we're doing it, and we are increasing emissions by 17% or more. Okay, so think humans. All right, we are not doing great things to this environment, but in our current COVID relation crisis, it's actually looking a little better because everyone's staying inside. I hope you are too. All right, moving on. Question number 7. Which of the following is not something humans do to contribute to air pollution? So what is something that humans don't do or that we can't control? Oh, not time. Soil management, I think we can do that. Vehicle exhaust, we do that too. Industries, that's us, but wildfires. Are we in charge? Like, what is that? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Correct answer? You want to say wildfires. This is insane. I've actually seen some mini wildfires. I've had friends that are fighting them currently. But this here, wildfire, look at all this carbon just burning up and going right into the environment. So this is something that we can help mitigate, but we don't do this on purpose. Usually, I mean, we can manage lands, but these mega fires from Australia, that seriously impacts the carbon in our environment. Okay? So wildfires is for that one. Next one, question 9. This is a big one. Which human activity might explain the change in carbon dioxide levels shown in the graph? So here's our graph. Here's carbon dioxide levels. So this is going up. And then we have human population. That's going up. So in 1960, 2.50 billion people. And then you just, jump 30 years and you got 5.00 billion people. Yikes. Here are our options, right? So which human activity might help explain the change in carbon dioxide levels shown in the graph? We have storing nuclear waste, using wind energy, collecting solar energy, burning fossil fuels. Now, I'm not going to tell you, but a couple of these things are not like the other. Here we go. Correct answer is burning fossil fuels, okay? That is a direct effect. More people, more CO2. More people, more goods. More people, more buying, more going. It's crazy, okay? Burning fossil fuels is the answer. Next up, question number 10. Oh, that graph is back. Remember, year, human population, carbon dioxide. How have the size of the human population and the amount of carbon dioxide, CO2, changed from 1960 to 1990? Okay, there's our population, it's going up, and here's our carbon dioxide. That is also going up, okay? Notice that. Here are options. So number 1, the human population has increased while the amount of CO2 has decreased. I don't know about that one. Human population, is it increasing or decreasing? I don't know. Don't tell me. Go tell your dog or fish or cat or parrot. I don't know. You do that. The human population has decreased while the amount of CO2 has increased. I don't know about that. Both human population and the amount of CO2 have increased. Both the human population and the amount of CO2 have decreased. What's our answer? Here it is. Both the human population and the amount of CO2 has increased. Here's a good diagram to help us explain this, folks, okay? Check this puppy out. So you're having world population on the x-axis. Oh, sorry, gotta go back. So you have years on the x-axis and like population numbers in the billions there, and you see that's going up. Looks like a hockey stick curve. That's exponential in like 2000. And then look, is that similar? So that over time, the amount of carbon is growing, as is the amount of population. Look at that, folks. That is a tasty little comparison that as population's increasing, so does carbon dioxide. All right, question 11. We're almost done. Stay with me, folks. Which statement is best supported by the information shown in the diagram? Well, first things first, look at the diagram. What is the diagram telling you? You have a factory that has emissions containing sulfur oxides and nitrogen oxides. Those are not good things. Mixing with some clouds, and in that clouds, what happens? From our water cycle, you have rain. Not the Adirondacks. Oh no. I wonder what's causing that. So, going back to the question, which statement is best supported by the information shown in the diagram below? Most rain is caused by factories. Do factories cause rain? I don't know. I mean, you tell me. I'm not going to tell you that one. Acid rain is necessary for forests? I don't think so. Sorry folks, human activities can cause pollution. The Adirondack Mountains determine the direction of prevailing winds. I don't know. Okay, ready, set, here's the answer. The answer is human activities can cause pollution. In this case, human activity, like we do not do good things to the environment. We drive these cars that just pound out issues into the environment and can cause acid rain. Okay, that's a whole nother conversation. Okay, question 12, only 2 more left. What environmental problem in New York State makes limestone a poor choice to use outside of a building? So I can't show you this, but if you ever have done like baking soda and vinegar, picture this as baking, like if this is made of baking soda and then the rain is vinegar, what does that do? Bubbles, reacts. But according to this image, what environmental problem in New York State makes limestone a poor choice to use on the outside of a building? Is it wildfires? Is it acid rain? Is it snowstorms? Or is it tornadoes? Do we have tornadoes? I don't think so. Okay. Correct answer is, acid rain again. Right, there's Homer. We don't love acid rain. Going back to this picture, if this is made of limestone or parts of this rock is made of limestone and it rains, over time you get some bubbles and some changes and some weathering. It's called chemical weathering that's happening with these rocks. So chemical weathering, good word, because of acid rain. Be careful out there, folks. We don't like the acid rain. Okay, last one, question 13. Which human activity would help reduce the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere? Which human activity? Decrease the burning of fossil fuels, decrease the number of recycling programs, increase the human population, or increase the number of cars being driven? What do you think? Well, here you go. Correct answer is decrease the burning of fossil fuels. If you decrease the burning of fossil fuels, that allows you to maybe increase renewable energy sources that do not cause emissions. Okay? All right. Well, folks, keep up the good work. That's all I have for today. We'll have another one of these tomorrow. Keep working hard, keep doing your thing. But for now, that's all, folks. Ta-ta for now.